There once was a king of Egypt who had never had a son. He prayed and prayed every day for a son. Until one day, he got one.
The Hathor, who knew the fate of the prince's future, informed the king that the prince would die from a serpent, a crocodile, or a dog. The king was very upset and didn't know what to do.
The king gave orders that the child should be locked up in a house in order to protect him from his fate.
Many servants were ordered to wait on the prince, and whatever he had wanted were to be his. One day, as the prince was looking outside, he saw a man with a dog. He ordered a servant to get him one.
Hearing this request, the king decided to let the prince have a dog.
So the servant gave him one.
The king got a new wife who did not want the doomed prince to be kept from his fate. Agreeing with this, the king decided to send him to meet whatever was in store for him. The king ordered a servant to go tell the doomed prince the news.
The prince set out upon his travels with his faithful dog by his side.
The prince reached the land of Mesopotamia, where he met a new prince. This prince had a daughter and no son. The prince of Mesopotamia explained to the doomed prince that whoever could climb to the top where his daughter was living shall have her hand in marriage.
After many failed attempts from other princes, the doomed prince was the only one to successfully climb to the top, where their daughter immediately fell in love.
When the father heard of this, he did not approve because the doomed prince was only a runaway prince from Egypt.
The princess loved him and would not let the doomed prince go. She threatened to neither eat nor drink until she could marry him.
Hearing this news, the prince of Mesopotamia ordered his servants to kill the doomed prince.
After hearing this news, the princess claimed that she would kill herself if her father killed the doomed prince.
The prince of Mesopotamia finally agreed to let the doomed prince marry his daughter. They were finally together again at last.
The doomed prince explained his doomed future to his future wife. Now knowing this information, the princess still decided to marry the doomed prince.
His new wife told him that he should take precaution and maybe even kill his dog.
The doomed prince refused to kill his dog. The doomed prince set off back to Egypt. Later, the doomed prince was catching birds when a crocodile came out to him. Fortunately, there was a youth, a giant, who caught the crocodile and shut it up so that the prince could escape.
As the doomed prince lay down, sleep overcame him, and his wife sat near him watching as a serpent came from a hole. The wife called a servant over, and they drugged the serpent with wine and took him away.
Shortly after, the doomed prince went on a walk with his dog as the crocodile approached him and said, "I am thy doom, I will remember thee, I will follow after thee."
The doomed prince met with the giant and he was saved again.
This story has many hidden messages and lessons.
It showcases the idea of fate, and that is an important concept in the Egyptian society. This story showed examples of personal fate such as destiny or doom when the doomed prince was told his 3 possible deaths.
Some other important themes were bravery and heroism. For example, the doomed prince was brave and heroic when he rescued and married the daughter of the prince of Mesopotamia.
Also, the importance of honesty is demonstrated when the doomed prince explains to his wife the true story about his fate and his 3 potential deaths. Due to his courage to be honest, the wife protects him.
From the story of the doomed prince, we can take away that honesty is important, especially in marriage, and not to live life in constant fear despite the fact that fate is inevitable.